My name is Xavier. I'm 64 years old, and I'm about to tell you how one piece of paper destroyed the two people who destroyed me. For 2 years, I slept in a workshop, in the house I built, while my son, Jaden, and his wife Samira took my bedroom, spent my money, and treated me like I was nothing more than their personal servant. They made me cook, clean, beg for permission to see my own friends. Samira looked me in the eye and said, "Serve me, or sleep under a bridge." My own son stood there and said nothing, so I went to my filing cabinet, and I pulled out a document they'd forgotten existed. I didn't yell, didn't fight, didn't argue. I just made a few calls, changed a few words, signed a few papers. They thought they had all the power because they were young, because I was old and alone and broken. They were wrong. What I'm about to tell you isn't just a story about revenge. It's about the moment you realize that kindness has a limit, that silence doesn't mean weakness, and that the people who underestimate you, they're the ones who lose everything. By the time they realized what I'd done, it was already too late. The house was gone. The money was gone. Their future was gone. And the person they should have feared the most wasn't some lawyer or judge. It was the old man they forgot was still standing. If you want to know exactly what I changed in that document and how it made them beg for mercy, you need to stay with me. But I'm warning you, this story gets dark before it gets better. Subscribe right now and smash that bell icon so you don't miss a single chapter. Drop a like if you believe respect is earned, not demanded. And comment below. Have you ever been underestimated by someone you loved? Let's talk, because the story starts in 3 seconds. And trust me, you've never heard a revenge story like this. Let's go. I wake up at 4:47 a.m. Not because I want to, because if I'm not in the kitchen by 5:15, Samira starts texting. And if she has to text twice, she comes downstairs and makes sure I know how much I've inconvenienced her. The workshop is cold. It's always cold. The space heater I bought with my own money, because God forbid I ask them for one, barely keeps the frost off the windows. I sleep on a cot that creaks every time I turn over. My back hasn't felt right in 6 months. This used to be my sanctuary. The place where I built furniture, fixed neighbors' cabinets, taught my son Jaden how to use a miter saw when he was 12. Now it's my prison. I pull on my clothes, the same 3 outfits I rotate through because my real closet, in my real bedroom, is now Samira's makeup room. She needed the space, she said. Jaden agreed. I wasn't consulted. The house is silent as I climb the stairs. My stairs. In my house. The one I saved for, designed, built with my own hands in 1994 when Jaden was still in diapers and my wife Maria was pregnant with the future we thought we'd have. Maria's been gone 5 years now. Cancer took her fast, 8 months from diagnosis to funeral. I thought the worst pain I'd ever feel was watching them lower her casket into the ground. I was wrong. The worst pain is living in the home we built together and being treated like I don't belong here. I start the coffee. Not for me. I'm not allowed to drink it until they've had theirs. "You have that veteran's discount at the grocery store," Samira told me once. "You can buy your own coffee." I was paying the mortgage on this house before she was born. While the coffee brews, I prep breakfast. Eggs, scrambled for Jaden, over easy for Samira. Turkey bacon, not pork because Samira's on some influencer diet this month. Sourdough toast, lightly buttered. Fresh fruit arranged on the side. At 6:30, I hear movement upstairs. Footsteps, the shower running. Samira's morning routine takes 45 minutes and uses up all the hot water, so I've learned to shower at night. When I asked if maybe we could alternate mornings, she laughed. "Xavier, you don't do anything all day. Why do you need a morning shower?" "I'm a contractor. Was a contractor. Am still a contractor when they let me take jobs. I work with my hands, with wood and metal and sweat. But to her, if it's not on Instagram, It doesn't exist. Jaden comes down first. He's 35 now, but he moves through the house like a teenager, doesn't make eye contact. Grunts his thanks when I set his plate down. Coffee? I ask. Obviously. Not yes please or thanks Dad. Just obviously. I pour it. 2 creams, 1 sugar. I still remember how he likes it, even though he hasn't remembered my birthday in 3 years. Samira descends at 6:52, already on her phone. She's 32, beautiful in that high-maintenance way that requires 2 hours and $300 in products. She sits without looking at me. Is this turkey bacon fresh? She asks. Bought it yesterday. It tastes off. It doesn't. I cooked it perfectly. But I don't argue. I can make you something else, I offer. She waves her hand dismissively. No, I'll just pick around it. Ugh, I have a headache. Xavier, can you run to the pharmacy and get me that specific kind of Excedrin I like? The migraine one in the red box? I have a job site at 9. Cancel it. She still hasn't looked up from her phone. I need it by 8 because I have a meeting at 10. Samira, I already committed to the client, and I'm committing you to this. What's more important, Xavier? Some random person's cabinet or my health? Jaden shifts in his seat. For a second, I think he might say something. Might tell his wife that she's being unreasonable, that I have a right to work, to have my own life. But he just shovels eggs into his mouth and scrolls through his phone. I'm invisible. I'll go, I say quietly. Thank you. She says it like I've done her a favor, not like she's just cost me a $400 job. After they eat, they leave their plates on the table. They've never once put their dishes in the sink. That's my job. I'm the dishwasher, the cook, the maid, the errand boy. I'm whatever they need me to be, except what I actually am, the man who owns this house. By 7:30, they're gone. Samira to wherever she goes. She says meetings, but I've never seen her bring home a paycheck. Jaden to his job managing a sporting goods store. A job he hates. A job he complains about every single night while I serve him dinner. I stand in the empty kitchen, surrounded by their mess, and I feel it. The breaking point. Not the loud, explosive kind. The quiet kind. The kind that cracks something deep inside that you didn't even know could break. I walk to my old office, now their guest room, even though they've never had guests. I open the filing cabinet I insisted on keeping when Samira wanted to throw it out, and I pull out the folder labeled Property Documents. Inside, the deed to 42 Riverside Drive. Sole owner, Xavier Thomas Holloway. Not Jaden, not Samira. Me. I stare at it for a long time. Then I pull out my phone and search for something I should have searched for 2 years ago. Estate planning attorney near me. The first result is a firm called Richardson and Associates. The lead attorney's name is Aaliyah Richardson. 5-star reviews. Specializes in elder law and estate planning. I click call before I can talk myself out of it. A receptionist answers. Professional, warm. Richardson and Associates, how can I help you? I need to speak to someone about protecting my assets. Of course, can I ask what type of assets we're discussing? I look around the kitchen. My kitchen. The cabinets I installed. The tile floor I laid. The window over the sink where Maria used to watch the birds. My home, I say. I need to protect my home. I can schedule you with Ms. Richardson. She has an opening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Does that work? Tomorrow, Samira has me scheduled to detail clean the garage. A 6-hour job she assigned me 3 days ago. Yes, I say. That works perfectly. I hang up, and for the first time in 2 years, I feel something other than exhaustion. I feel awake. Aaliyah Richardson's office doesn't look like a place where revenge is born. It's all warm wood tones, soft lighting, and framed degrees on the wall. There's a photo on her desk, her with 2 teenage kids, all 3 of them laughing at some family joke. She's younger than I expected, maybe mid-40s. sharp eyes that miss nothing. "Mr. Holloway," she says, extending her hand. Her grip is firm. "Please, sit." I sit. The leather chair is more comfortable than anywhere I've sat in months. "So," she begins, opening a legal pad, "tell me what's going on." And God help me, I can't. The words stick in my throat like concrete. How do I explain that I've become a ghost in my own life? That my son watches his wife humiliate me and says nothing? That I'm 64 years old and I don't know how I ended up here? Aaliyah waits, doesn't rush me, just waits. Finally, I pull out my phone. I show her the text messages. "Xavier, I need you to pick up my dry cleaning by 3. Don't be late. Make sure dinner's ready by 6:30. We're having guests. The upstairs bathroom is a mess. Clean it today. All from Samira. Dozens of them. Months of them." Aaliyah's expression doesn't change, but something hardens in her eyes. "How long has this been going on?" she asks. 2 years since they moved in. "And the house is in your name?" "Yes, just mine. I bought it in '94, paid off the mortgage in 2011. She makes a note. "Do they pay rent?" "No." "Do they contribute to utilities, property tax, maintenance?" "No." "And you are, what exactly? Their landlord? Their roommate?" "I'm their servant." The word comes out bitter. True. They don't see me as family anymore. Jaden calls me by my first name. Samira tells her friends I'm staying with them temporarily. Aaliyah sets down her pen. "Mr. Holloway, Xavier, I'm going to ask you a direct question, and I need an honest answer. What do you want?" "I want them out." "That's one option, but I'm asking what you really want." I meet her eyes. I want them to understand what they've done. I want them to feel what I've felt. I want them to know what it's like to lose everything because of someone else's cruelty. She nods slowly. "Then we're not just talking about eviction. No. We're talking about consequences." "Yes." She pulls a fresh legal pad closer. "Walk me through your entire financial situation. Assets, debts, income, everything. And, Xavier, don't leave anything out, even the things you think don't matter, especially those." So I tell her. I tell her about the house, worth approximately $740,000 in today's market, fully paid off. I tell her about my savings, $180,000 spread across 2 accounts. I tell her about the contracting jobs I still do, when Samira allows it, bringing in about $3,000 a month. And then I tell her about the loan. "What loan?" Aaliyah asks. I pull out another document. Old, creased from being folded and unfolded too many times. 20 years ago, Jaden was 25. He'd dropped out of college, racked up $30,000 in credit card debt, and was about to lose his car. He came to me crying, begging, said if I co-signed a consolidation loan for $47,000, he'd pay me back. He wrote me a letter promising he'd never forget it. "Did he pay you back?" "Not 1 cent. Aaliyah's eyes light up. "Do you have documentation? The loan paperwork? The letter?" "Everything." "And the statute of limitations in this state is 10 years for written contracts, but if there's been any acknowledgement of the debt, even verbal, it can reset the clock. Has he ever acknowledged owing you?" I think back. 3 years ago, I mentioned it. He said, "Yeah, I know, I'll get to it." Then never brought it up again. That's acknowledgement. She's writing fast now. With interest compounded at the legal maximum rate over 20 years, that $47,000 becomes approximately $128,000. My stomach drops. He owes me $128,000? Legally, yes. And here's the beautiful part. If they've been living in your house rent-free for 2 years, we can calculate fair market rent for a comparable property. In this neighborhood, I'd estimate $3,500 per month. That's $84,000 in unpaid rent. I do the math in my head. $212,000 total. Give or take. She leans back. But here's where it gets interesting. They don't know about this debt calculation yet, do they? No. And they don't know you're planning to evict them? No. Good, because Xavier, we're not just going to evict them. We're going to make them complicit in their own destruction. What do you mean? She pulls out a blank document template on her computer. We're going to draft what looks like a standard estate planning witness form. It'll be vague enough that they won't read it carefully. Just something about updating your will and needing 2 witnesses. But it's not actually about my will. Oh, we'll update your will too, but the document they'll sign. That's a legal acknowledgement of debt, both debts, the loan and the rent. By signing as witnesses, they're legally confirming the amounts owed. I stare at her. They'll just sign it? People sign things they don't read all the time, especially when they think it benefits them. And here's my educated guess based on what you've told me. The moment Samira hears the words estate planning, she's going to think you're securing their inheritance. She'll sign it with a smile. It's brilliant. It's ruthless. It's exactly what they deserve. What about my actual will? I ask. Who do you want to leave your assets to? I think of Zara, my niece, Maria's sister's daughter, the only family member who visited after Maria died, who called me every month even after I stopped answering. Who sent me a birthday card this year with a note that said, Uncle Xavier, I miss you. Please call me. My niece, Zara, I say, and I want to set up a scholarship fund for trade school students in my wife's name. Aaliyah's expression softens. That's beautiful. Jaden gets nothing. Are you certain? Even a small amount might prevent him from contesting. Nothing. My voice is steel. He gambled on my death. He treated me like I was already gone. He can inherit exactly what he's earned. Nothing. She makes the note. Understood. Now I'm going to recommend someone else you should meet. His name is Mateo Reyes. He's a private investigator I work with. If Samira is as manipulative as you describe, there might be more going on than you realize. Like what? I don't know yet. But in my experience, people who treat family members like servants while living rent-free usually have secrets. Financial secrets. And secrets are leverage. She writes down a number, slides it across the desk. Call him today. Tell him I sent you. And Xavier? She meets my eyes. What you're about to do, it's going to hurt. Not just them. You too. Jaden is still your son. Are you prepared for that? I think about this morning. About making breakfast at 5 a.m. About canceling a job to buy Samira headache medicine. About sleeping in a workshop in the house I built. I'm already hurt, I say. Now it's their turn. Aaliyah extends her hand again. Then let's get to work. I shake it. And just like that, the war begins. Mateo Reyes looks nothing like a private investigator. He's about 40, dressed in a faded Broncos hoodie and jeans, sitting across from me at a coffee shop near the river. He could be anyone, a teacher, a mechanic, someone's uncle. That's probably the point. Aaliyah says you need background on your daughter-in-law, he says, stirring his coffee. Samira Chen, right? Right. What do you know about her? She's 32, married Jaden 4 years ago. She says she's a consultant, but I've never seen her go to an office or bring home a paycheck. She spends all day on her phone and laptop. Mateo pulls out a tablet. Social media presence. Instagram. She posts constantly. Outfits, coffee, inspirational quotes. That kind of thing. Handle, I tell him. He types, scrolls, his expression neutral. Then his eyebrow raises. 43,000 followers. Interesting. Is it? For someone who's supposedly unemployed? Very. He turns the tablet toward me. See these posts? Designer bags, expensive jewelry, luxury skincare. Where's this money coming from? I assumed Jaden's paycheck. Or my credit card. She has access to it for household expenses. When's the last time you checked your statements? My stomach drops. I don't know. 6 months? She handles all that now. Mateo makes a note. We'll come back to that. First, I need you to do something for me. Don't react, don't confront her, just observe. Pay attention to her routine. What time does she leave the house? Does she take packages? Does she have visitors? I need a pattern. Why? Because people with secrets have routines that protect those secrets. I need to know what she's protecting. For the next 3 days, I watch. Samira wakes at 6:30, spends 2 hours on appearance, comes downstairs at 8:45. Jaden leaves for work at 8:30, so she's alone with me. She sits at the dining table, my dining table, and opens her laptop. She's on it for hours. I hear her on the phone sometimes, but she talks in hushed tones. When I walk by, she angles the screen away. On Tuesday, a delivery arrives. 3 large boxes from a luxury retailer. She brings them to the garage, not her bedroom. On Wednesday, she leaves at 2 p.m. with 2 shopping bags, returns at 5 p.m. with different bags. Same brands, different items. On Thursday, I pretend to be asleep when she comes down to the workshop at 11 p.m. She goes to the garage. I hear plastic rustling, tape being pulled. She's there for 20 minutes. I text all of this to Mateo. His response comes Friday morning. Meet me at the coffee shop. 1 hour. I found something. He's already there when I arrive, laptop open, looking like he hasn't slept. Your daughter-in-law is running a business, he says without preamble. What kind of business? High-end resale, luxury handbags, jewelry, designer clothes. She buys them on discount or second-hand, authenticates them, then resells them at markup through Instagram and a private website. He turns the laptop. This is her business account. Different name, different handle. LuxVault_curated. I stare at the screen. Professional photos, Chanel bags, Rolex watches, Hermes scarves, prices ranging from $800 to $15,000. How long has she been doing this? 3 years, and Xavier, she's good at it. I pulled what financial data I could access legally. Conservative estimate? She's grossing $140,000 annually. The coffee shop tilts. $140,000. Give or take. Some years probably more. But she tells everyone she doesn't work. She tells Jaden that she's a consultant with irregular income, right? I'm guessing he doesn't ask questions because he doesn't want to know the answer. Why would she hide this? Mateo leans back. Control. Image. Maybe taxes. He pauses. Actually, definitely taxes. I did some digging. There's no business license in her name. No LLC. No tax filings that I can find. She's running a 6-figure operation completely under the table. That's illegal. Very. The IRS would have a field day with this. I think about the workshop, the 5 a.m. wake-ups, the way she made me feel worthless while she was secretly running an empire from my dining room table. She's been using my house as her base of operations, I say slowly, my Wi-Fi, my utilities, my garage for storage. And probably your credit card for some of the initial inventory purchases. We should check those statements. He's right. When I finally pull up my credit card history online, there it is. Thousands in charges to luxury retailers. All categorized as household expenses. She didn't just use me as a servant. She used me as an investor in a business I didn't know existed. There's more, Mateo says. He pulls up another screen. I ran a search on real estate activity. Samira's been looking at houses, high-end properties, $800,000 to $1.2 million range. Been browsing for 8 months. She's planning to move? She's planning to upgrade. My guess? She's waiting. For what? His eyes meet mine. For you to either sign over the house or die, whichever comes first. The words hang in the air like poison. She's that calculated? People who build secret 6-figure businesses while playing the struggling housewife. Yeah, they're that calculated. I sit back, processing. All this time I thought Samira was just cruel. Entitled, lazy. She's not. She's strategic. She's been playing a long game, and I was just a useful piece on the board. Can we use this? I ask. The tax evasion? Absolutely. But Xavier, this is nuclear. You report her to the IRS. She could face serious fines, maybe even criminal charges. That'll destroy her. It'll also destroy Jaden. They destroyed me first. Mateo nods slowly. Then we use it as leverage. Aaliyah's working on the eviction and debt acknowledgement paperwork. This information becomes insurance. They fight us, we make a phone call. Simple as that. When do we move? Aaliyah wants to present the witness documents to them within the week. You ready? I think about Samira sitting at my table building her empire while I scrubbed her floors. I'm ready. I've never been good at lying. Maria used to tease me about it. Xavier, your face gives away everything, she'd say, laughing. Never play poker. But tonight, I'm playing the best poker game of my life. It's Sunday dinner. I cooked pot roast, Samira's favorite, though she'll never admit I make it well. Jaden is scrolling through his phone. Samira is telling some story about an influencer friend who just bought a beach house. Must be nice, Jaden mutters. It could be us someday, Samira says, shooting him a meaningful look. If we make smart choices. I set down my fork. Actually, that's something I wanted to talk to you both about. They look up. Samira's eyes narrow slightly. Suspicious. I've been thinking about the future, I continue, keeping my voice steady. I'm not getting any younger. I met with an estate planner last week, just to get things in order. Samira's expression shifts. Not quite a smile, but close. That's actually really smart, Xavier. Yeah, Dad, Jaden says, and there it is. He calls me Dad for the first time in months. Responsible. The attorney said I need 2 witnesses for some of the documents. Family members, preferably. Would you both be willing to help me out? Of course, Samira says immediately. What kind of documents? Just standard estate planning stuff. Will updates, beneficiary designations, nothing complicated. She nods, already calculating. I can see it in her eyes. She thinks she knows what this means. She thinks I'm about to secure their inheritance, about to guarantee them this house, my savings, everything. When do you need us to sign? Jaden asks. Tomorrow evening work? The attorney is sending the documents over. Should only take a few minutes. Perfect, Samira says, and this time she does smile. We're happy to help. After dinner, she actually thanks me for cooking. Clears her own plate for the first time in 2 years. The trap is set. The documents arrive Monday at noon. Aaliyah has outdone herself. The first page looks exactly like an estate planning witness form. Official letterhead, legal language, spaces for signatures. But buried in the dense paragraphs are the acknowledgments, the loan debt, the unpaid rent, the total amount owed. Any attorney would catch it. But Samira and Jaden aren't attorneys. They're just 2 people who see what they want to see. I spend the afternoon rehearsing in my head. Can't seem nervous. Can't seem eager. Just matter of fact. Routine. At 6 p.m., they come home together. Samira must have picked Jaden up from work. I have the documents on the dining table, 2 pens ready. Hey, Dad, Jaden says, still calling me Dad, still thinking he's about to inherit everything. This should be quick, I say. Just need your signatures as witnesses, here and here. I point to the signature lines, not the paragraphs above, not the numbers. Samira picks up the first page, skims it. I watch her eyes glaze over at the legal jargon. She's looking for key words: beneficiary, inheritance, estate. She finds them in the dummy paragraphs Aaliyah inserted specifically for this purpose. Looks good, Samira says. She signs with a flourish. Jaden doesn't even read it, just signs next to her signature. That's it? He asks. That's it. Thank you both. Samira's phone buzzes. She checks it, distracted. I have to take this call. Business thing. Business thing. while running an illegal operation from my house. After they leave, I sit at the table, staring at their signatures. They just legally acknowledged owing me $212,000. They have no idea. Tuesday morning, I meet Aaliyah at her office. I bring the signed documents. She examines them carefully, then looks up with something like respect in her eyes. "They actually signed it," she says. "They did." "Do they know what they signed?" "No." "Good." She makes copies, files the originals in a safe. Now we wait. For what? For the eviction notice to arrive. 3 days from now. I've already filed it with the court. They'll have 30 days to vacate the property. And if they fight it, then we show them these documents. We show them they acknowledge the debt, and we remind them about Samira's little tax problem. She leans forward. "Xavier, I want you to understand something. What we're doing here, it's legal, it's justified, but it's also going to detonate their lives. Are you prepared for that?" I think about the workshop, the 4:47 a.m. wake-ups, the way Samira told me I wasn't family anymore. Yes. Even if Jaden begs, even if he cries? Especially then. She nods. Then we're ready. The eviction notice arrives Thursday. I'm not home. I'm at my new apartment, the one I rented 3 days ago. 1 bedroom, clean, quiet, overlooking the river, 6 months paid in advance. My furniture is already there, my clothes, my important documents. I moved out of my own house, but I didn't tell them. Mateo sends me the video. He's parked across the street, recording. The sheriff's deputy arrives at 2 p.m. knocks. Samira answers, fresh from her meeting, laptop business session. She takes the papers. I watch her face change as she reads. First confusion, then disbelief, then rage. She screams for Jaden. He's home early, his day off. They stand in the doorway of my house reading the eviction notice, and I can see the moment it hits them. They don't own this house, they never did, and now they have 30 days to leave. Mateo zooms in. Samira is crying. Real tears. Jaden looks like he's been punched. My phone explodes with calls, texts, voicemails. "Dad, what is this? You can't do this. We need to talk. Call me. This is insane, Dad. Please." I silence my phone, and for the first time in 2 years, I sleep through the night. In my own bed, in my own space, free. The lawsuit arrives on a Monday morning. Aaliyah calls me at 7 a.m. I'm sitting in my apartment drinking coffee, my coffee from my mug, in my peaceful space, when her name flashes on my screen. "Xavier, we have a situation." I set down the mug. "What happened?" Samira filed a countersuit. She's claiming elder abuse, financial exploitation, and mental incompetence. The words don't make sense at first. What? She's arguing that you have dementia, that you were coerced into signing documents you didn't understand, and that Zara and I are manipulating you to steal your assets. Her voice is tight, controlled. She's filed for emergency conservatorship. If a judge grants it temporarily, she and Jaden would have legal control over all your finances, including the house, until a hearing determines your mental competency. My chest tightens. She's lying. I don't have dementia. I know that. You know that. But she's playing dirty, Xavier. She's filed declarations claiming you've been forgetful, confused, easily influenced. She's painting herself as the concerned daughter-in-law trying to protect you from predatory relatives. That's insane. That's desperation. She's losing everything, so she's going nuclear. Aaliyah pauses. We have a competency hearing in 4 days. We need to prove you're of sound mind and that her claims are retaliatory. Can you do that? Yes. Good, because Xavier, if we lose this hearing, she wins. She gets control of your house, your money, your life. Everything we've built, gone. The next 72 hours are a nightmare. Aaliyah assembles a team. Medical records showing my clean bill of health. Testimony from my recent contracting clients. detailed work, complex problem solving, zero signs of cognitive decline. But we need more. We need character witnesses, Aaliyah says during an emergency meeting at her office, people who've interacted with you regularly and can testify to your mental sharpness. I think of my veterans group, the meetings I stopped attending because Samira wouldn't let me use the car. I have people, I say. Mateo tracks them down. 3 men from my group agree to testify. Xavier's the sharpest guy in the room, one tells Aaliyah during prep. He remembers details from stories we told months ago. There's nothing wrong with his mind. But the real breakthrough comes from someone I didn't expect. Mrs. Chen, my next-door neighbor at the old house. 73 years old, sharp as a tack, and apparently she's been watching everything. I have videos, she tells us, sitting in Aaliyah's conference room. My son installed security cameras last year. They cover part of your property. She opens her laptop, and there it is. Footage of me doing yard work at midnight because that's the only time Samira wasn't ordering me around. Footage of me carrying all the groceries while Jaden sat in the car on his phone. Footage of Samira screaming at me in the driveway 6 months ago, her voice cutting through the suburban silence. You're not family anymore, Xavier. You're a tenant. Start acting like one. The timestamp is clear. The audio is crystal clear. Aaliyah watches the video 3 times. This is it. This is what we need. The courthouse is freezing on Thursday morning. I wear my best suit, the one I haven't worn since Maria's funeral. Aaliyah sits beside me, calm and professional. Across the aisle, Samira and Jaden sit with their attorney, a young man in an expensive suit that screams, "Desperate gamble." The judge is a woman in her 60s, Judge Andrea Hartley. Her expression gives nothing away. Samira's attorney goes first. He's smooth, confident. He presents their evidence, declarations claiming I forgot appointments, repeated myself, seemed confused about dates and times. All lies. Then he calls Samira to the stand. She's dressed conservatively, hair pulled back, minimal makeup, playing the part of the concerned, exhausted caregiver. Mrs. Holloway, her attorney says, can you describe Mr. Holloway's mental state over the past year? It's been heartbreaking, Samira says, her voice trembling. He started forgetting things. Simple things, where he put his keys, what day it was. We were worried, so we moved in to help him. I grip the armrest. Aaliyah puts a hand on my arm. Stay calm. And when did you first suspect he was being manipulated? When he suddenly wanted to change his will. It didn't make sense. He'd always said the house would go to Jaden. Then this attorney appears, and suddenly we're being evicted from the home we've been caring for him in. It's a master class in manipulation. Twist the truth just enough that it sounds plausible. Then Aaliyah stands for cross-examination. Mrs. Holloway, you claim you moved in to care for Mr. Holloway. Did you pay rent? No, but we helped with expenses. Did you? Because I have bank records showing zero financial contribution from you or your husband. Would you like to revise your statement? Samira's jaw tightens. We contributed in other ways. Caregiving isn't just financial. Indeed, speaking of caregiving, where did Mr. Holloway sleep while you lived in his house? A pause. Too long. He had a bedroom. Where specifically? Upstairs. That's interesting, because we have testimony that you and your husband occupied the master bedroom, and Mr. Holloway slept in the workshop. Is that incorrect? Samira's face flushes. He preferred the workshop. He preferred sleeping on a cot in an unheated garage. Objection, her attorney says. Argumentative. Sustained, Judge Hartley says, but she's watching Samira closely now. Aaliyah continues. Mrs. Holloway, do you work? I'm a consultant. What kind of consulting? Various projects. It's irregular. Irregular income of approximately $140,000 per year? Samira goes pale. I don't know where you got that number. From your business, Luxvault_curated. An online luxury resale operation you've been running for 3 years without declaring the income. Would you like to explain that to the court? The courtroom goes silent. Samira's attorney stands. Your Honor, this is irrelevant to the competency question. Actually, Aaliyah says, it goes directly to motive. Mrs. Holloway has been running a 6-figure illegal business from Mr. Holloway's property while claiming to be his caregiver. This isn't about protecting him. It's about controlling his assets. Judge Hartley leans forward. I'll allow it. Mrs. Holloway, answer the question. But Samira can't. She's trapped. Then Aaliyah plays the video. Mrs. Chen's security footage. Samira's voice venomous and clear. You're not family anymore, Xavier. You're a tenant. The judge watches without expression. When it ends, she turns to Samira. Mrs. Holloway, does that sound like someone concerned about a family member's well-being? Samira says nothing. Judge Hartley closes her folder. I'm denying the petition for conservatorship. Mr. Holloway is clearly of sound mind. Furthermore, I'm ordering an investigation into the elder abuse allegations against Mrs. Holloway. Court is adjourned. The gavel falls. Samira crumbles in her seat. Jaden stares straight ahead, broken. I walk out of that courtroom a free man. The house sells in 19 days. $762,000. Above asking price. A young couple with 2 kids. The husband's a teacher, the wife's a nurse. They walk through it with wide eyes, talking about Christmas mornings and backyard barbecues and building memories. The way Maria and I once did. I sign the papers in Aaliyah's office. After the mortgage payoff and fees, there's $587,000 remaining. The debt, Jaden and Samira acknowledged, $212,000, is deducted automatically. The rest is divided as per my will, 70% to Zara, 30% to the scholarship fund in Maria's name. Jaden gets nothing. Samira took a plea deal on the tax evasion charges. 3 years probation, $47,000 in restitution, 200 hours community service. No jail time, but her business is dead, her reputation destroyed. She moved back to Ohio. I heard she and Jaden separated. I don't feel victorious. I don't feel anything but tired. 3 months later, I'm sitting in my apartment on a Sunday morning when there's a knock at my door. It's Jaden. He looks different, thinner. There are lines on his face that weren't there before. He's holding an envelope and wearing a jacket I recognize, the one I bought him for his college graduation 15 years ago. I'm not here to ask for anything, he says before I can speak. I just need to say something. Can I have 5 minutes? I should close the door, I should protect myself. But I don't. 5 minutes, I say. He doesn't come inside, just stands in the hallway gripping that envelope like a lifeline. I've been in therapy, he starts. Court-ordered at first, but I kept going, and my therapist had me write you a letter. I wasn't supposed to give it to you. It was just for me, but I thought. He holds it out. I thought maybe you should have it. I take the envelope, but don't open it. I got a job, he continues. Warehouse work, night shift. It's honest work, and I'm paying off the debt. It'll take years, but I'm doing it. That's good, Jaden. I left Samira. I should have left her 2 years ago. I should have protected you. His voice cracks. I failed you as a son. I know I can't fix that. I know I can't give you back what I took, but I need you to know. I see it now. What I did. What I let happen. I stand there, holding his letter, looking at this stranger who used to be my little boy. Why now? I ask. Why do you see it now and not then? Because I lost everything. The house, the marriage, the future I thought I had. And when it was all gone, I realized the only thing that mattered was the one thing I'd already destroyed. He wipes his eyes. You. I destroyed you, Dad. The word Dad breaks something in me. You did, I say quietly. But Jaden, I failed you too. I gave you everything without teaching you struggle. I made you soft. That doesn't excuse what you did, but it's context. I don't deserve your understanding. Maybe not, but I'm giving it anyway. I hold up the envelope. I'll read this, and maybe someday we can talk. Not as father and son, not yet, but as two people trying to be better. He nods, tears streaming down his face. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just keep doing the work. He turns to leave, then stops. The scholarship fund. Zara told me about the first recipient. The single mom studying to be an electrician. She reminded me of you. Scrappy. Determined. He smiles sadly. I'm glad you're helping people who deserve it. After he leaves, I sit with the envelope for an hour before opening it. The letter is 14 pages. Handwritten. Honest. Raw. Dad, I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I need to write it. I need to say that I see what I did. I see how I let Samira treat you like you were nothing. I see how I stood by while you slept in a workshop and woke up before dawn to serve us. I see how I chose comfort over character. And I'm sorry. I'm so desperately sorry. I know sorry isn't enough. I know it doesn't undo the damage. But I'm saying it anyway because you deserve to hear it. You deserved better. You deserved a son who protected you the way you protected me my entire life. I'm going to spend the rest of my life becoming that person. Not for you. For me. Because I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror. I don't know if we'll ever be okay again. But I hope you know that I'm trying. I'm finally trying. I fold the letter carefully and place it in my desk drawer. Next to it, I put an old photo. Me and Jaden, age 7, in the workshop. Both of us covered in sawdust and grinning. Maybe someday we'll build something again. But for now, I'm building something more important. I'm building myself back. 1 year later, the scholarship fund has awarded 12 students. 5 have graduated and started their own businesses. I have dinner with Zara every Sunday in the house I helped her design. Mrs. Chen and I are friends. We watch Jeopardy together on Wednesdays. And last month, Jaden sent me a text. Debt payment made. On schedule. Hope you're well. I responded, good, I am. Thank you for asking. It's not forgiveness, not reconciliation, not yet, but it's something. A door left slightly open. And maybe that's enough. That's it. That's the story. Xavier reclaimed his dignity, his home, his life, and left the door open for redemption without sacrificing his self-respect. This is what real justice looks like. Not just revenge. Rebuilding. If this story moved you, if it made you believe that it's never too late to stand up for yourself, then do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel right now because I tell stories like this every single week. Stories about real people, real pain, and real resilience. Smash that like button if you believe dignity is non-negotiable. Share this with someone who needs to hear that they deserve better. And comment below. Could you forgive Jaden? Would you leave the door open? Let's talk about it. Because these conversations matter. These stories matter. You matter. Thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing Xavier's journey. I'll see you in the next story. And remember, you're never too old, too tired, or too broken to reclaim your power. Now go live like you believe it.